It's from Star Wars, right? It's that moment when he's stepping out of his hidey hole home, buried in the sand and Tatooine, and he stares wistfully at the two suns. Remember that? It's a big moment in the movie. I think we described the three-act system of storytelling. The first act establishes the characters, and then there's some sort of inciting incident that starts the rise in action to a climax. So that's all part of the second act. That comes to a climax, and then we have resolution, which is the third act. Remember we talked about that a couple weeks ago? Music does the exact same thing. Let's take a look at it just for a second. This cue is called Binary Sunset, and music tells the same kind of story, right? So what do we have in the beginning? What is the first thing I played? The Star Wars theme. It's establishing something here. We are in the Star Wars universe. We even get a little faint little echo of it. And it ends on sort of a mysterious chord. And John Williams amps that up even more by providing this little background. So it's just a setting played mostly in the harp and the piano and quiet instruments, just to get you ready, just to set up that bed of anticipation. And I think this is the first place where we actually hear Luke's own particular theme, right? Now, the thing you have to understand about music in general, Western tonal music, Western music, is that it asks a question and then it gives you the answer. And I'll show you what I'm talking about with this example. So the question part, the first part of this is this bit. It sounds incomplete. It's meant to be a question. It's meant to say something like, who is this guy here? And then the second bit is the answer. There are fancy names in music for this, but you don't have to worry about that. Just understand that generally speaking, music tells a story just like everything else on the screen. Okay? Why, it's Luke, he's here to save the earth, or whatever, you know what I'm saying. All right? So again, we're establishing who he is with the music. And in the third iteration of this, the final, the big one, where we have scenes of the two sons and a close-up on Mark Hamill looking very wistful, that is the second act, right? That's everything rising to something big. So here it is. Right? New chord, big. Right? And then everything comes down again because now it's almost like a third act. We're resolving something. But since it's not the end of the movie, we have to keep on going. And so we're back to where we started. And then we have this little thing where he's trying to find R2-D2. Remember, he goes back in the garage? Now, this is called a piano reduction. And all that means is that they've taken the big orchestral score that John Williams has made and reduced it down to a piano part that my hands can play, because otherwise I'd be staring at about 30 or 40 lines of music at a time, which is very difficult. But while we're thinking of that, let's look at that right now.